Okay, this is part two. A couple days after the monoliths have dried for a bit, we're back again to start with our gluing. So what I have here is I just use Elmer's glue wall from the local co-op, and you have to dilute it for the first treatment. So I simply, on an old container, I'll fill it to here, and then I will fill the rest with water. So I'm 5 parts water to 1 part glue, and then I add it to, I'll add it to this squirt bottle. I've agitated that. If you do it with warm water, it tends to mix up better. And I've mixed up quite a bit here because I do have 3 monoliths I'm going to work at tonight with that. And you just use a squirt bottle and use the 5-to-1 mixture for soils such as the Mississippi sand here. And I have 2 Deswood soils, loam soils. For the Red River clay here, I'm going to mix up a separate bottle. I have water there. I'll just add this mixture to it, so it's something like a 10-to-1, because of course the mixture doesn't penetrate as far, and I want to give it an opportunity for the glue to penetrate as much as possible into the clay. So I'll start doing that. I'm going to start here on the Mississippi, and what you do is you just start applying it and saturating the soil for as much as it will take, and then we just work up the full length of it and use up as much of this material as we can. You'll have to go back, and this way the water and the glue mixture penetrates and will start to glue with depth. Man, you gotta love these Mississippis. You see how it was absorbing everything I could throw at it down here, lowering the profile, and you move up to the A horizon where the organic matter is, and you get this water repellency associated with this soil. So it takes longer. You first have to wet it first before it starts to take the glue in. So those of you that have the Mississippi, you'll learn something about the Mississippi soils and how they repel water initially until they wet up. Okay, finally here I've overcome the water repellency of the Mississippi, and it's starting to take in this solution. But again, that hydrophobic nature of it, it's very slow to take this in initially until you get it started. I'm going to move over to those of you that might have the clay loam soil or the Deswood. And again, we're using the same 5-to-1 mixture of water and glue here. And we can see that it's penetrating quite easily into the Deswood soil. So I have 2 of these that I will apply to, and then we'll move over to the Red River clay. Okay, I've got the Deswood and Mississippi soils done, and each one took about a full bottle of glue and water solution to saturate them. And then I'll probably just let them dry for several days until it's ready for a stiffer batch. Right now we're going to try the Red River soil, and I have a more dilute mixture in this one. This is closer to 10 parts water to 1 part glue, and because we know that the hydraulic conductivity of percolation in the clays is not that great, and this is actually entering fairly well. Now, you don't want to make sure you don't just pour it all down cracks. Like there's a crack there, that'll just take an infinite amount of water, but try to make sure that you saturate the areas in between. So these soils this year were quite dry, so they're going to absorb this solution quite readily, I hope. So I'll see how much of this bottle I can get to work into this Red River profile. So here we are, the Red River soil, and a lot of it, this loose area, it's sucking up glue just like an Aggie sucks up beer first year of university, for first week of university anyways. But then there are areas where we just have to be more patient, and it takes longer for the glue to enter. And so just be patient with that. when you get your bottle applied at the end of the night, what I make sure I do is rinse out the bottles. Otherwise, those holes plug up and it's not going to be very useful for you for the next time. That's it for stage number 2.